These are probably the strongest playable characters in Genshin according to the lore, starting with Albedo. Albedo is a synthetic human created from alchemy by his master, Rhine, also known as Gold. Albedo's constellation takes the shape of a fetus in a bottle, further hinting at the artificial nature of his creation. Albedo practices the art of chemia, a form of alchemy that was developed and practiced in Khaenri'ah, and also played a major role in causing Khaenri'ah's downfall during the Cataclysm 500 years ago. The art of chemia was unheard of in Teyvat before his arrival, while Venti, the archon Barbatos who was present for the Cataclysm, states it has unmistakable properties. It could thus be deduced that Rhine was from Khaenri'ah and created Albedo there. What makes him quite a worrying figure in Mondstadt is how he kept hinting that someday he might destroy the whole city.
If one day I lose control, destroy Mondstadt, destroy everything, can I rely on you to stop me?
Even Venti acknowledges him in his voice line.
How do you explain white chalk and black soil, or the Earth's dense crust amidst the emptiness of space? Same reason the purest soil gave birth to human life. It's an ancient power with unmistakable properties. Trying to harness it is dangerous indeed. I can't imagine what would happen if someone lost control of it in the city. Never mind. What goes on within Mondstadt's walls is up to Mondstadt's people to deal with.
Next we have Yae Miko. Before that, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. Miko is a kitsune that possesses a fox form. In Japanese mythology, kitsune are spiritual fox, like creatures with a reputation for cleverness. Befitting Miko's close ties with the Raiden shogun, mythological kitsune are believed to live for thousands of years and symbolize eternity. A learned how to transfer her consciousness into inanimate objects from Yae Miko, implying that she herself also has this ability. The thing is, Yae seems too reserved at using her skills and her power, even when saving the traveler, as she had to trade A's gnosis to Scaramouche in order to save us. However, her age and her ability to break into Raiden Shogun's eternity plane signifies what she is capable of if she is willing to take action. She is clever, and I think no one knows the full extent of her power. Even the Shogun acknowledges her. 3,000 years ago, Ganyu answered the call of Morax, the god of Geo, aiding him in the Archon Wars, and when the war was over, she chose to stay in Leia and help the humans build a better polity there. The first Leia Chising would need support, and she took this task up as a matter of course, becoming their secretary. The moment she made that decision, a vision appeared at her hip, granting her power to resonate with the world to a degree beyond her natural abilities. She is probably one of the strongest characters in the game, and everybody knows that. A well-built Ganyu does a lot of damage, and from a lot far because she uses a bow. She fought alongside Morax, and no wonder how many gods or powerful beings she has killed. She has ample battle experience and can take on even the hardest bosses in the game with ease. Speaking of Adepti, we have Xiao, the conqueror of demons. Xiao is an illuminated beast who had lived for over 2,000 years. In his youth, he was enslaved by an ancient god who learned his weakness and was forced to perform cruel, violent acts on the god's behalf, including devouring the dreams of his victims. The god's bloodthirsty path came to an end at Morax's hand during the Archon War. Xiao was freed, and Morax bestowed him with the name Xiao for his own protection. Xiao became deeply loyal to Morax, a trait that continues to the present day. When Morax rallied the Yakshas to help him suppress the lingering hatred and grudges of fallen gods, Xiao was among those who responded. Xiao, under the name Alatus, was one of the 5 foremost Yakshas. However, over the ages, the Yakshas' task wore away their numbers. Not only did they have to fight against the lingering power of ancient gods, the hatred that they had to suppress tainted their own souls and stained them in karmic debt, which incurred enormous physical and psychological pain. Between battle casualties, madness and desertion, the number of Yakshas eventually dwindled to Bosacius and Xiao. Bosacius too eventually disappeared and left his belongings, leaving Xiao as the last Yaksha. Xiao nearly succumbed to his karmic debt himself at one point, but was saved by the music Venti played during one of the Anemo Archon's visits to Leia. Having thousands of years of battle experience and going through that mental exhaustion makes Xiao the most formidable playable character. He has a plunging attack style in-game, and that does a lot of damage. The strongest playable character is the Sovereign Dragon himself. Fontaine's main story quest was an absolute roller coaster and arguably the best Archon story all across Teyvat. It also introduced us to the first Dragon Sovereign, the beings who ruled Teyvat before the first usurper took away their power and used it to create the visions that are common all across Teyvat. While Neuvlet was already strong enough to hold off the primordial seawater, he received his full authority back and is now the strongest character in the game. If you go through his voice lines, Neuvlet has plans to judge all the other archons and heavenly principles themselves. In addition to commanding the power of Hydro, the Hydro Dragon also had mastery over the sea, and that was the source of life. Before any outside life forms were ever created, all life on this planet traced its origins to the primordial sea, and the Hydro Dragon would in turn be regarded as this planet's original god of life. Now that's an epic lore. This guy is old and he's the original power in the world of Teyvat. It would be fun to see him in action and what else he does in the future.